All right, we're all set. If I can have your attention, please. Thank you. Good to see everybody here tonight. I'll call to order our meeting for April 22, 2014. Jill, if you would, please call the roll.
Jim Matthews?
Here.
Dan Moore?
Here.
Mike Polly?
Here. All right, we had the minutes prepared for us from our regular trustees meeting dated April 7th, 2014. Were there any changes or corrections to those minutes?
I have none.
I have none either. Being no changes or corrections, those will stand approved as prepared for us. Public speaks. We'll open the floor to anyone with comments, questions, or anything this evening that you might have. Anybody at all? Just let us know. Raise your hand or stand up. No? All right. We'll move on to our agenda items. Mike, if you would, do the road department.
All right. Mike, go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
Request approval for a purchase order to Trail Star in the amount of $175 for a strobe light for the sewer jet.
So moved.
Second. Yes.
Request approval for a purchase order to Newman traffic signs in the amount of $963.34 to restock street signs.
So moved.
Second. Yes. One quick question on that. Are you going to still use our standard size or go to the larger?
I've been staying with the standard.
I think those are still working for us. A lot of communities have gone to the larger size, and instead of using all capital block letters, they use a different format.
Oh, okay.
It's a, if you will, a re-standardization of street signs. I think it was just done because the street sign companies like to re-standardize street signs. Is my suspicion. But since for years we've been using that standard look, I think we're better off staying with it. Doesn't seem to be broken, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Request approval for a purchase order to Central Allied in the amount of $750 for hand patch.
So moved.
Second? Yes.
It's working out well. Hand patch.
Well, we're actually using the 404, the permanent now. So they started making hot mix.
You know, Mike, can I ask you a question? Remember a while back you wanted to try to do stuff there early on in the late winter? How did that work?
It seems to be working good.
Really?
No better, no worse than the other stuff, you know. So
Okay.
and it's a little bit cheaper money.
That's right.
So.
Okay, good.
And request a purchase order to AmeriGas in the amount of $1,000 for propane at the road department.
So moved.
Second? Yes.
Discuss gas kill. ACT excavation dug a hole in gas kill. I contacted the city. There was a sunken spot in the road, and they told me that this ACT excavation.
Bob Reinhardt out of Sebring.
Okay, and they never got a permit or nothing to do a road dig. They just kind of wanted to get your.
I thought maybe we should send them a letter.
Well, how much damage is there? Is it still damaged? Is it a problem?
Well,
Need a better repair?
It's going to probably take a good half a ton or so of blacktop to get it all built back up. Settled.
He may take help with the expense of that, but we might either want to call him or send him a letter.
He had no permit though?
And not that I'm aware of.
You didn't come to us.
Where's that at exactly?
Right in front of the trailer park.
Okay, down there towards the...
Yeah, it'd be the left-hand side there.
You have the full spectrum of options available to you. One end of the spectrum is do nothing. The other end of the spectrum would be to use your statutory authority to collect every single penny that it takes to rebuild it to the way it was before it was damaged. So, what do we want to do? Where do we want to pick a point along that spectrum? I suspect it's not at the do nothing. Because doing nothing tends to send a great signal to everybody that we can come up and dig your roads and they'll do nothing.
He needs to know he needs to get a permit when he comes into the township. I mean, that's just...
He's done that.
Yeah.
He's been in business for a long time.
Well, certainly he should receive a letter, and I agree with you there, for the next time. But what's a half a ton of material going to cost you?
It's going to be $25-30.
Okay. How much time is it going to cost?
If you run down to Canton and back, it's almost 45 minutes round trip.
Was it a decent section of road? We always know that another problem with cutting a road is, even though you can repair it reasonably well, it makes it more susceptible to further damage. Freezing and thawing and
Water getting...
all of that problem whenever you cut it or crack it. So now you've got that to deal with. So, I don't happen to know who you're talking about and whether there's an interest
I
in
don't.
not sending that person a bill or sending that person a bill.
Yeah, I don't know him.
I know him, know of him.
I know him, but, he's not a bad person,
No,
but
I always thought he was referable, he had a decent reputation.
I'm sure he'd be,
One thing I ever heard about, he always undercut everybody's jobs.
Well, I don't think we need to make a judgment about whether they're good, bad, decent, law-abiding. It's just the practical problem. They cut the road, now we have to deal with the problem. My suggestion would be that we kind of combine the thoughts here. Definitely send a letter, but I would also wait until you do whatever repair is necessary. Have you prepare a reasonable invoice, not something punitive, that is ridiculous, but just amount of materials at least.
Should we forewarn him in the letter, though?
Why not?
Yeah, okay.
Send them a letter saying, this can't be tolerated, we need you to get a permit next time, forms are available at the office, we're in the process of making the repair to bring the road up to a proper condition, and once we have that together, we'll invoice you in 2 weeks or a month or whenever. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause you do want to try to avoid this, not just him, but others doing it.
Right.
Now,
And then Bruce going to be on travel, too, pipeliners over here.
who wants to draft the letter or send the letter? It should come from the board, from you.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I can do it, or...
You want to just have Mike send it?
Why don't you, Mike, sit down with Jamie and tell her what you want? She'd be glad to do that for him, wouldn't you? Yeah, okay.
I hate the fact that these things always come back on you, but that's part of the issue of being a road superintendent. Lucky you.
part of my job.
So we'll try to make it as easy for you to accomplish. I can spend a couple minutes with you and jot down the letter.
Just don't put your home address.
Yeah.
No, it should come from the township office here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I think I know that, just joking.
And then just get the statement together, and please understand, I mean it, just keep it reasonable. Materials, time, that type of thing.
Are you comfortable with that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got a reminder, road bids will be opened at the next regular trustee meeting on May 13, 2014 at 6:45 p.m.
All right.
That's all I have.
Do you have anything else road-related?
I don't, thank you, Mike.
No, Mike.
Jim?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Chief, how are you?
Good.
Thank you.
Dan?
Go ahead, Chief. Anytime you're ready to start.
Okay. Request approval for a purchase order of Red Diamond uniform, amount of $6,000. This is for 12 of this 3A safety vests. They were discussed in the fireman trustees meeting.
Right. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Yes.
Request approval for purchase order to Robertson CED in the amount of $231. This is for repair parts to the lights at Station 2.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, all the labor was donated. By the way, they should all be working.
I'll check.
Okay, motion to approve?
Second?
They're working.
They are working? Okay. Request approval for payment to generator system in the amount of $210. This is for labor for repairs done in January.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Yes.
And a request for John Summers for leave of absence for 3 to 6 months for personal reasons.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Yes.
And other than that, the carnival is May 9th and 10th.
Yep. Keep praying for good weather.
I'll pick the
No
days.
rain.
This afternoon.
Yeah, everything perfect.
Is there anything you need help with?
Not really. We're doing good so far.
Is it better to buy the tickets ahead of time? Probably.
I'll sell them to you.
Okay. I'll get 2 from Jamie or something.
Okay.
We'll be gone. I'll get 2 down.
All right.
Thanks, Chief.
Just one other item for you here. I know we want to keep the advertisement for the carnival up on the sign for the time being. Whenever you have a blank period or nothing to advertise on there, I want to go ahead and list this information for people to sign up for either text or email alerts through the National Weather Service
Okay.
for advisories, storm warnings, severe storm warnings or tornado warnings. It's kind of the way, if you will, for people to be informed of either alert being announced. And it's real simple to sign up. It's just weather.
On my phone.
Yeah, it's very easy. Weather.gov/subscribe. And it's a way for people to keep informed if they do not have a weather advisory radio available to them. It's a pretty good way for people to keep informed of severe weather alerts. I think it has a much broader capability.
Oh, really?
With text
A lot of
and
elderly
email.
people don't have smartphones, I wonder.
So if you don't mind doing that,
No, that's
just verify whatever is the best email address or the access address
Okay.
for the subscriptions. And then I was looking into this FEMA integrated warning system to make sure that we're in compliance with it. And I can sit down with you and talk about that, but I think our systems, since they have the same capability through the county emergency management system, we should be in compliance. I'm just looking at it to make sure we are in compliance, and I'll sit down with you at a later time.
Okay. Good.
Great. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, 2 items on the agenda for zoning this evening. First is to discuss any zoning complaints, status of any cases that we should talk about. Linda, is there anything you want to bring to our attention?
The 183 auto wrecking, we had the preliminary hearing last week, and it was scheduled for a full evidentiary hearing on the 6th of June at 3:15. And he did come in and request that we drop the charges, which I told him is probably not going to happen.
Any other cases that you need to bring to our attention or discuss tonight?
Just had, well, the one on Low Road, which the building inspector is going to give us a report on the condition of that barn, and I'm still waiting for the health department to call me back on the solid waste that's out there. We did download the new form from the health department for a nuisance complaint, so if people call in or come in, we can help them fill that out and sign it and forward it to the health department. Yes, yes. That's the newest form they have out, and they're kind of working on that. And I don't know where we are on the Beeson Street, because I know Ken has sent a letter out on that. I did drive past Hazelview on those 2 junk cars just for information. It looks like she had someone pump up the tires.
She called me today,
Oh.
and she said they got both the cars running. She bought plates for the one car, put new battery in it. And the other car, she thinks, is sold if the guy can get the money, but it might take 2 weeks.
And that's the tan one that's towards the back of the for sale sign in the back?
That was my understanding.
Okay, okay.
The other car has plates, is running, battery, and the tires are pumped up, she said. So I told her I'd just report that here at the
Well, I did go by and look just to get an update on it, and at this point there are already weeds growing up around them, but weed season hasn't started. So
She told me she spent $150 on her lawnmower, so she'll be able to keep the lawn mowed.
and a project that I'm starting on, you may or may not be familiar with, and I don't have the address written down here. It's on 183, approximately a half a mile north of Armour. There's a big building, and they've just got a lot of construction and demolition stuff in front, wood, mud piles, and it appears they're running some type of a business there. So I'm going to start with the official notices there for cleanup.
North of Armour, east side or west side?
East side.
East side.
There's a little bitty house out towards the front, and then you see the mess, and then there's a big...
Is that just recently?
Well, it's been coming on since last fall, and it's really And we don't allow construction and demolition in residential areas anyway. And I can't imagine that they're doing anything but maybe running some kind of business in this stuff there. Check into it and see what it is.
All right, any other cases you need our assistance with or referral to Ken?
Not at this point.
All right. Any questions for any of those cases, Dan or Mike?
No, I have not.
Not at this time.
On the second one, Jim, there's a correction on that. That is a request for permission to attend that.
Okay.
And the main reason I'd like to go to that one is over half of it's going to be for zoning for removal of junk cars and nuisance abatement for removal of junk cars. But maybe I could find out from some of the other ones what success they're having. Because
Where's that at?
it's in Columbus, Black Lake, it's a Township Association office down there.
All right, I'd move that we authorize Linda to attend and to reimburse her for $30 plus mileage for attendance to the zoning inspector's group meeting on May 9, 2014.
Second.
Yes.
Anything else, Linda?
I don't have anything else for you.
That's it?
Just FYI for you, Jim, I talked to Tom Lejeune, and they believe they have this house on title sold.
Okay.
So I offered any assistance we could give him.
Very good. And we have a meeting next Monday, right?
Yes, Monday at 7 o'clock. And there'll be a new, Jamie's printed off, we'll have an updated zoning book for all the members and for you. And then, I know we have a couple things we want to discuss, and I know you have a couple things we want to discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Ken, anything this evening?
Nothing.
Thank you. A few general township items to cover. First item, I'll move that we reimburse the fiscal officer, Jill McNeil, the amount of $12.98 for certified mailings.
Second.
Yes.
Next, I'll move that we authorize reimbursement to Dan Moore in the amount of $28 for mileage for the Paradigm Pipeline Safety meeting he attended.
That was Mike and Mike Byler went to. Yes.
Second.
Move that we approve opening a purchase order to Delta Dental in the amount of $2,593.80 for 6 months of dental insurance premiums.
Second.
Yes.
Move that we authorize opening a purchase order to the Treasurer of the State of Ohio in the amount of $2,500, which is for the UAN, I think, quarterly fees, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, that'll cover us for the rest
For
of
the
the
rest of the year.
Second.
Yes.
We have a request to use the meeting room by Dennis Wagner on June 21, 2014. Subject to availability, I'll move we authorize Dennis to use the meeting room.
Second.
Second. Yes.
All right. Mike or Dan, anything general township related for tonight?
I have none.
We have the cash revenue and expenditure financial report for year-to-date submitted by the fiscal officer. I'll move that we approve that as submitted.
Second.
Yes.
Bills tonight are, $18,702.64, and I'll move we authorize payment of the bills.
Second.
Yes.
Number of communication items we've received, advertisements, seminar notices, grassroots clippings and such, and I'll move we authorize filing the communication.
Second.
Yes.
That generally concludes our agenda items this evening. Anybody have any questions, comments, anything at all, please bring it to our attention. You're welcome to stand up, raise your hand, let us know. Last call, huh? All right, well, thank you again for attending this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Yes.
Thank you.